Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. A little chilly this morning, but it's going to warm up. We're supposed to be in the 70s today. The 70s today, and tomorrow into the 80s. So it's quite warm for March weather, early March even. But it's also going to be dry. Like the humidity here, the humidity here, dry for us, like really dry, is like 25% humidity. It's going to be down in the teens today. Some breeze, yes, fire weather risk. But hey, it's that time of the year where the weather's just a roller coaster. But the next couple of days should be really nice. I'm not the kind of guy that says I told you so, but I've been warning about this for a while, and it's been a big overall message of what I've been saying for the last few weeks since Donald Trump took the presidency, and I have lost a significant amount of viewers. My daily view count has dropped. I've had people unsubscribe. I don't know, probably about 1,500 people unsubscribe. A lot of hate mail, a lot of nasty comments. If I'd had feelings, it would have hurt them, But it seems as though that, at least for now, some of what I've been warning about is starting to happen or is true. Both the president and the Treasury Secretary have warned today, yesterday, in the last 24 hours, have warned that the economy, it's about to get really rough for a while. The Treasury Secretary said that the economy is going to go through a detox period, and President Trump said that the economy is going to go through a transition period. There are several economists, gurus when it comes to the stock market and things of the financial nature online that have come out warning that it's about to get bad, that it looks as if the stock market is on the verge of collapsing. We could see some major effects in the bond market, which honestly is much bigger and more important than the stock market. Bitcoin is just going down and down. It broke below 80,000, I think, over the weekend. There's a lot, and the tariffs are just everywhere. China is putting tariffs on everyone. It's not just that we're putting tariffs on everyone and they're putting tariffs on us. It's like everyone's putting tariffs on everyone. And it is in a full-blown trade war at this point. There's not really anyone that I can see that's denying that or saying that, well, we're not quite there yet. We're in a full-blown trade war with everyone, it seems like. Canada got a new prime minister, and he seems to be probably just as far left as Justin Trudeau. Has said that the tariff war will continue. Probably the only big difference is he actually looks like he has a little bit of a spine. A lot of people are saying that he's a pretty tough guy. He's a former something at the Bank of England, so yeah, he's all part of the big club. Just like all of them, they all are. President Trump over the weekend made a statement that he was talking about the tariffs, and he said they're going to make us rich. It's going to bring in billions and billions of dollars, and you're going to have so much money that you're not going to know what to do with it. And number one, to me, and you're going to hate me for saying this, I'm not saying that this is what Donald Trump is. I'm just saying that statement in itself just sounds like some kind of shady snake oil salesman, because it's not true. Who's paying those tariffs? You and I. How are they going to make us billions? In the end, it could make the government more money, potentially, but it's not going to make you and I rich. And if they're taking excess money and turn around and giving it to the people, but yet continually going into debt, they need to pay off the debts first. So that's just it's a statement that's not true, because the tariffs are going to be paid by us, by the people. That's who pays the tariffs. A tariff is a tax. I've said this over and over again, and many other people have said the same thing. It is a tax. Just because it's a different word doesn't mean it's something different. It's a tax. And the thing is that there's so many of them now being placed on us, and we're placing so many on other people, that it's going to become unavoidable. You know, in the beginning, when they were first spoken of, there were several people, several of you, that were saying, well, I'll just not buy those products. I'll stop eating avocados, right? It's becoming very widespread. And so even if you could still potentially not purchase any product that's affected by tariffs, there's so many of them by various different countries being placed on back and forth and all this, that it's going to affect the entire economy, okay? I think it's going to be unavoidable that the tariffs will only affect certain things. It's going to affect everything. And it could also affect the supply of things, especially with wars building and getting bigger and just general conflict going on. So we're on the edge, the front edge of probably seeing a major economic downturn. There's some that's saying it's not going to be as bad, but there's many experts I've been reading that are predicting, something at least at the level of the Great Depression and maybe worse. And if you listen to the president's words over the last few months, he's kind of indicated that. I mean, he's not said it a lot, but if you've listened to the things he said, he's kind of warned that it's going to get rough. It's going to get bad. And it's happening. Now, will this turn out good in the end? That's what a lot of people, well, I'm willing to live with this, really rough economy so that we can get to the good side, on the good end on the other side. Okay, a couple of things to remember. The idea that this will work out for good in the end is just a theory. It's never been done before. It's just a theory. So it might work, it might not. There are many other factors that could happen that could cause it not to work. That all of this economic upturn and chaos and stuff may not end up being good. It may just continually get worse until it's just awful. Number two, the good that's being talked about may not be the kind of good that you think of. It could end up being, oh, the economy's turned out good after all this. We have all this digital currency that people use now instead of paper currency, and we have this big surveillance and AI system that controls it all. So now it's all stable. That may be the good economy that you'll end up with. And of course, it's possible that we'll just end up with an economy like what we've had, but one that's stable and works and it's prosperous. But I think that's a big risk. And again, even if it does happen, the time between now and then is going to be pretty harsh. And I think it's probably going to be worse than anything most of you have lived through. I was reading a couple of people over the weekend that were just talking about the inflation that they believe, and these are pro-Trump people. These are not like far lefties and stuff. And this one guy I was reading is saying that he believes that the inflation is going to be crippling. That the inflation seen under Joe Biden will be nothing compared to the inflation that we're about to see under the Trump administration. And he was flat out saying that it's not necessarily Trump's fault. It's because of policies done under the Biden administration and trying to correct them and stuff. And I don't doubt that most of that's true. But the fact is that it's going to happen. And then for those of you that keep saying, well, again, we'll just suffer through it to the end. I don't know that people understand the possibility of what kind of suffering we're talking about. You know, if you think you're going to do that, then again, you should do the things I've been telling you to do for a while, and that's be extremely self-sufficient. Have the capability. It doesn't mean that you're living it in your daily life, but at least have the capability to live very simple, because that may be the only way to survive this. If this economic downturn is quite as bad as what at least some people think it could be. I mean, there's some big warnings out there if you dig around and find the right people, that it's going to get rough. And then, like I said, just in the last 12 to 24 hours, the president himself and the Treasury Secretary have both echoed that. You know, going through a detox period. Well, detox period is not easy. It's rough. That's what detoxing is. It's rough. And maybe on the end they'll come out pretty good, but maybe they won't. And so that's where we're at. And I've been warning about this. And I'm telling you, you need to buckle up and get ready. For those of you that have money, meaning you have it in savings or whatever, I would suggest you start taking a long, hard look of what to do with that. I'm not going to sit here and give you any kind of advice whatsoever. But I think it's pretty solid that banks are not safe places to just store your money. I've talked to people recently, when I say recently, in the last 3 or 4 months, that work in banking. I'm not talking a teller. They're high up in banking. And they said that a bank bail-ins are still an open topic within the banking community. If you don't know what a bank bail-in, you should probably learn. It's basically when they just keep your money. They just say, oh, well, we're going to keep your money, and that's what the bank's going to live off of. And at some point in the future, we'll let you have it back. That's what that is. And it's a completely legal thing. The FDIC had a meeting on it just a couple of years ago. You can find that video online where they talked about it and said that may be the only option. So banks aren't going to be safe. Stocks, I don't think safe. Cryptocurrencies, long-term maybe. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't trust it. For any of you that are like my age and older, and that's where you're putting all your money, I don't know that I'd trust that. It's, you know, if you still want to do some like day trading with it to make money, you probably could. But I'm just telling you, you need to get your finances kind of figured out. You need to get your supplies figured out. You need to have a plan, because I think it's not just going to be an economic collapse of whatever that is, or whatever magnitude that is, a major stock market reset. I've even seen that term, that it'll be a stock market reset, you know, an interest rate reset, a bond market reset, whatever it's going to be. You have to understand that we're not just going to be dealing with that. We're still dealing with Russia and Ukraine and Europe. Europe's wanting to go to war with Ukraine. With Russia. Russia and Ukraine are still bombing the snot out of each other. You've got Syria going on. You've got Israel and Gaza. You've got the United States and Iran. And you've got China and Taiwan. You've got conflicts happening all over. We've got a president that says he's going to take Greenland, even if it's by force. Trying to take parts of Canada or all of Canada. We've got actually quite major pandemic level, almost level, illnesses spreading around the United States. And there's warnings of a next pandemic. You know, and I know that the numbers probably are still fake, or at least not accurate. But on paper, officially, do you know that there's still over 250,000 people a year dying from COVID? That's pretty significant. I know it's probably not accurate, but that's not the point. All of these things happening at the same time of a major economic downturn, people getting laid off, government programs being shut down, offices being shut down. Even though we don't like them, it's possible that they still provide a service to some people that are needing it and they're not going to get it. We're looking at a lot of chaos, which is exactly what I've been saying for weeks now. It's exactly why many people have stopped listening to me and just walked away, because, oh no, it's going to be a perfect wonderland now because Donald Trump's in office. And I've been saying it's not that I don't necessarily like him, it's that these things that are happening are going to cause a lot of chaos, a lot of instability, at least in the near future. Maybe will be short term, but most likely it's going to last for a few years, and who knows, maybe a long time. And you need to get ready for it. You need to be getting your houses in order, stocking up, prepping up, getting ready mentally, physically, and spiritually, because I do believe we have some pretty rough roads ahead of us. Thank you all for watching. Catch you in the next video.